Hello and welcome to the Music Business Buddy with me, Johnny Amos, podcasting out of Birmingham in England. I'm the author of the book, The Music Business for Music Creators. I'm a music creator myself. I'm a music industry consultant, an artist manager, and also a senior lecturer in both music business and music creation. Wherever you are and whatever you do, consider yourself welcome to this podcast and to a part of the community that is around it. My goal is to inspire and educate music creators from wherever they are in the world in their quest to achieving their goals by gaining a greater understanding of the business of music. Okay, so I am joined this week, everybody, by Remy and Ella from Crowdable. I am very, very, very fascinated by what Crowdable do. Think of crowdfunding, but for music, right? So, crowdfunding, okay, there's nothing new about it, but it has evolved, right, in recent years. And it's become a very, very, very important and perhaps even sometimes overlooked piece of the music industry, especially where, artists need money, right? And there's a few different ways of getting that. And sometimes it has to come out your own pocket, whatever it might be. But creating a project on Crowdable is a way to fund a project in music, and it most certainly should not be overlooked. So I reached out to Crowdable and I talked to their two owners and I asked them all about what it is and how an artist sets up a project and how it works and what to think about and what the pitfalls are and all that kind of good stuff. And I'll tell you, it's a very positive outcome. So I'm going to play the interview now. Ella and Remy, welcome to the Music Business Buddy. I'm thrilled you're here. How are you both?
Yeah, thank you. We're also very excited to be here. We're doing well. The sun is shining outside. It's a good day, and yeah, it's the first time we're doing a podcast, so it's exciting new thing for us.
Wow, this is a Crowdable exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, hey, I'm honoured. I didn't know that. So wow, okay, that's good. Okay, I'll take that. So let's go. I'm fascinated by what you've built. It didn't come out of nowhere, right? Because you both come from an economic or funding background. Ella, you come from a kind of funding background, and Remy,
right.
you music management on your side, Remy, and so between you, right, you've kind of got like this well set up to be able to kind of understand where it sits in the wider picture of things. Would I be correct in saying that what you've built is just as much about kind of strategic support as it is about raising capital? Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's really accurate actually, because it's the support that we give is a really important part, we believe, of crowdfunding, because crowdfunding can be quite a tricky thing to do. It doesn't always it's not always a success when you start a crowdfunding campaign, but when you do it the right way, you have a much higher chance of actually making it to your funding goal. And we have a lot of expertise in crowdfunding, and for us it's really important that an artist really is successful in making it to the funding goal that they set out at the beginning of a campaign. And that's important to us because we just love music and we want to help artists make their projects a reality. And for us it's very important to, when they start a campaign, to also make it successful, and we do that by offering advice. And that's really as important as just the other stuff that we offer, like the platform and the sort of digital infrastructure of Crowdable.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I think it's helpful, right, to have that, because people can click a button and kind of invest in something or donate, but that's kind of only a part of it, isn't it? Really, I mean, a lot of artists, that may not know much about what you do or how this works, might just think that it's a case of like posting a link and kind of just hoping that things will work. But what does like a successful campaign look like to you behind the scenes?
Yeah, well, I think it's true that some artists do believe like it's very simple, that by creating a campaign and posting a link is enough, but it's quite a lot of work to do a crowdfunding campaign. There's much more to it, and that also happens in the preparation phase and the execution phase as well. So we start giving advice in the preparation phase, and we believe that every artist or organization who starts a crowdfunding campaign should apply a certain strategy. And this means that you have to reach out to certain groups of people, and we divide them in 3 different groups. We think that all artists have like a group of family and close friends who'd like to donate to their campaign, but also like their bigger network of friends, peers, and colleagues. And then the last group is our future fans. So people you don't know yet, but you're reaching out to through the crowdfunding campaign. And we think that it's wise to reach out to these groups step by step. So you start with your family and close friends, because they are most likely to donate to your campaign, because they know you well, they know what you're working on. So this really helps you take the crowdfunding campaign off the ground. And after reaching this group, you can start reaching out to your peers and colleagues and people who follow you on social media. So also your fans. And this is quite a big group of people, so it takes a lot of time to reach out to all of them. It always takes some reminders that you have to send out before people actually donate to your campaign, because they want to see a bit more about the behind the scenes or the reasons behind the project. They maybe want to know what types of rewards you are offering. But if this group has donated as well, you maybe have reached 70% of your funding goal. And after this, you can start trying reaching new audiences and new fans. And you reach out to these people by maybe some media coverage or by asking friends to post about your crowdfunding campaign. And this group will only donate if they see that the crowdfunding is already quite successful and is most likely to be a success or to be successfully completed. So you really have to reach out to these groups step by step. And we believe that's the quickest way to collect donations in the first phase of your crowdfunding campaign, which motivates other people to make a donation as well. Because people are more inclined to support a campaign if they see that others already contributed and the campaign is doing well.
That makes sense when you can see, right, there's some people already started here, let me add to this. There seems to be a bit more momentum, and
that's right.
That makes a lot of mistakes, a lot of that makes a lot of sense. That's what I meant to say. Which is ironic, because what I just said makes no sense. But what would you say are kind of like the biggest, because there's, I guess, like anything, there's ways of like doing things right and doing things kind of like, oh, I wish I'd known that, what are the common mistakes that you tend to see in artists, and how do people try and avoid them?
Yeah, so sometimes we see that artists approach a campaign a bit too casually, that they just don't post a lot about it, or they don't mention it to their friends enough, or because in reality it's really crucial to convey the urgency of a campaign. And your campaign should be the most important thing that you're working on at that time. So you should be communicating about it in all your available channels, so on your social media channels, but also in a newsletter if you have one. And if you're doing a gig, you should talk about it during the in between the songs, of course, just to make sure that everyone around you knows that this is really important to you and that you're 100% focused on this during the duration of the campaign, which is usually about 5 weeks. Because if people don't really feel that you care that much about it, then, why should they care enough to actually make a donation? So that's a really important thing. And sometimes we see that that artists take it a bit too lightly. But then we also advise about that. Of course, we say, hey, you can maybe post a little bit more, or you should talk a little bit more about the campaign, or maybe you can say this or that, and that often helps with that.
Yeah.
And also we see that sometimes artists feel a bit scared or embarrassed to ask for donations, which is very understandable. Of course, you're asking for money from other people. That's what crowdfunding essentially is. But we also always tell them that it's not really about, asking for money. It's more about giving your audience the opportunity to become a part of this project that you're working on, which is exactly really exciting, because as a fan, you don't often have a good opportunity to really become a part of a project, or to really, see how the project is being made, or so that's sort of different way of approaching it, and that often helps as well.
That's a good,
So
that's it.
sorry, go
No,
ahead.
I was just thinking, actually, there's, sometimes where you've got like an act, a band, a singer, a DJ, whoever, and sometimes they might have kind of like family members that say, look, I really, really want you to do well. You know, can I help you? And that might be, I know somebody from the music industry who works down the road, or it might be, some kind of advice which is sent with love, but is not always that useful. Or it might be, can I give you some money? Right. And actually, it's a weird thing to ask, but I think people there's a lot of people that are actually happy to do that if they know how that money will be spent if they were to give it,
Yeah.
So that kind of preparation for, I suppose it's the same in asking for a grant or something. It's like, in order to get it, you got to say how you're going to spend it, how you're going to use it. Presumably, that's a big part of the process here.
Yeah, it is. It should be very clear what you're starting a crowdfunding campaign for, because people like to know what what their money is being used for. So if you're clear about that, that also helps with transparency, and it's also nice for people to know what they are contributing to, because they sometimes can see the end result. So if you're, for example, starting a crowdfunding campaign for a live show, and there are certain elements in the show that you want to create with the funds of your backers, then in the end, if the backers come to your show and have a ticket, they can see the elements that they contributed to with their donations. So that's really nice for them as well to see or hear or experience the project that they are part of.
Yeah. So they can actually get the impact of what they're sort of investing in, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. So, how should artists be thinking about fan relationships before they launch a campaign?
Yeah, it's a good question. We believe artists shouldn't underestimate the willingness of their fans and friends to be part of something they create, and also their willingness to financially support it. Because, like you said, a lot of people like to make a contribution or want to be part of something, and fans especially are very curious always about the next step of the artist that they follow, and it feels very special for them to be able to be part of it through a crowdfunding campaign. So crowdfunding can be a great way to capitalize on this, and to also create stronger relationships with existing fans, but also new fans that you are able to reach out to with the crowdfunding. And I think that the artists we already worked with also realize that this relationship they have with our fans is actually very strong. And I think they kind of, they sometimes were surprised by the feedback they got from their fans through the crowdfunding campaign, in terms of support in money wise, like the donations they received, but also the kind messages they received from people who responded to their campaign. So, yeah.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that must be quite touching for artists to be able
Yeah.
to say, oh, you know, that person that like we don't really know that well because we just spoke to once at that gig. They really seem to get what we're doing and why we're doing it and where we want to take it. And look what they've said. Wow, I would never have
Yeah.
known that if I hadn't have started this campaign. You know, I guess must be all sorts of surprising things that kind of go beyond a regular expectation with something like that. That's
Yeah.
very interesting. So let's think about this in the wider sort of context then, right? Because, you know, artists kind of need, you know, they need money, right, to be able to do the things that they want to do and to be able to speculate, to accumulate. And if they could activate this release model over here, maybe they want to record this music and they know how they want it to sound, they know what producer they want to work with, they know how much it's going to cost to spend to get it on particular playlists or time spent on, you know, pushing it to sync agents or whatever it might be. So it's about, I think it would be good for people to understand where this sits in the sort of the wider music business models. Should artists see this, what you've built, as a sort of one-off tool, or is it more of a sort of long-term strategic thing for them?
Yeah, so all of our campaigns on our platform are project based, so meaning that you're crowdfunding to fund a one-off project. So it could be a recording or a tour, or you're creating a music video, or you need to fix some gear that you have, or it can be all kinds of things as long as it's music related. And of course, the project helps the artist to take this next step in their career. If you record an EP and you're able to release it, professionally, then that helps an artist, of course. But crowdfunding in itself is already beneficial because it's basically a 5-week long promotion campaign for not only the project that you're working on, but also for yourself as an artist. Because you can, and also through crowdfunding, you potentially reach new fans who've never even heard of you. So in that way, we believe doing a crowdfunding campaign is often a really good move for an artist in an artist's career. And also because after you've done a successful crowdfunding campaign, you've shown to yourself, your audience, and maybe other stakeholders like you mentioned, record labels or managers or funding bodies, that you have a substantial engaged fan base that's invested in your career as an artist, and that's a really good sign, we think. And after the campaign ends, it's really also good if an artist really nurtures this fan base and to keep them engaged, so they can then promote the next project, or even maybe do another campaign in the future.
Yeah.
So that's really how we think about it. And then, in terms of where sort of Crowdable as a platform sits in the wider industry, we feel it's not really sort of competition for other ways of funding a music project. We think we sit alongside funding bodies and label investments and things like that. It's just another tool for artists to use if they need some funding for a project. So that's kind of how we look at it.
Yeah, that's smart, because it doesn't, to me, it doesn't seem like Crowdable needs to sit in an isolated space, but more of a strategic partner as well, right? So kind of like how match funding works in a way, So this is the aim of the target on Crowdable, but that there is also going to be coupled with this small advance from this music distributor, and together that builds the kind of landscape as to what the artist needs at that time. And it also fits inside that sort of, that artist-centric model that we're seeing now, where artists have more control over their rights and they have the same tools as labels and all that kind of stuff. If there were, an independent artist listening to this right now, as they will be, and I can thinking that this is appealing, this could work for me, let's say, for example, they wanted to raise, let's say, I don't know, £5,000. It's quite a lot of money, isn't it, to raise? But what would be kind of like a sort of step-by-step approach from kind of nothing to launch? What would that look like?
Yeah. Yeah, so it usually starts with somebody messaging us or us reaching out to artists on conferences. And yeah, we have a chat about the idea of the crowdfunding campaign, how crowdfunding works. So we kind of explore the basics of a crowdfunding campaign. And after that, we give advice about the certain elements of your crowdfunding. So we help determining the right crowdfunding goal, but also the funding goal. You said, like, if it's maybe five £5,000, or maybe you need a little more to cover those extra costs, or even the costs of a crowdfunding campaign itself, because you also have to deliver rewards, for example. So we help with that. And after that, we give advice about the project page you're creating on our website, on our platform. And it includes a video, also a description of your project, and a list of all the rewards you're offering. And after that, the artists start collecting the video, the text, images, and we will assemble the project page. And we always discuss this with the artists so they can tweak a little if they want to. And after the project page is finished, they can launch their campaign. And it usually takes about 5 weeks. And during this time, we monitor the process, and we have a lot of chats and calls with the artists to discuss any questions they might have, or their plans for the next week of the crowdfunding campaign. So I think at least every week we check in and have a short call. And yeah, then hopefully the campaign is a success. And if so, people then receive the funds, and also a list with all the contact details of their backers, so they can start creating the project, but also engage with with their backers, and afterwards deliver the rewards. So
Wow.
that's kind of it in a nutshell.
No, that's brilliant. You know what? You two are so impressive. You know, you really are. You are. It's like when I first became aware of what you've built, it was
Yeah.
one of those moments in my mind where I thought, how's no one done that before for music? You know, it's like it just, it's very often like some of the best ideas, isn't it? It's like, oh, that was staring at us right in the face for years. Why did no one do that until now? You know, it's
Yeah.
so clever. It really is.
Thank you.
But I think one of the things that, I mean, it fits into the absolute, you know, the future of the landscape is the next 10 years as to where we're at right now, where things are headed, and where this clicks into it perfectly on so many levels for so many stakeholders, for artists that want to retain their rights to have independent control over what they do. I think, do you feel like one of the key things that helps this further and further is for artists to kind of see themselves as a business asset, right? To be able to kind of go, you know, we're not asking someone to be charitable about making my dreams come true, but more so to kind of position this next phase that's missing in my career right now. And the only thing that I need to get that goal done is capital. So if I get it, it puts me there, which then means I can do that and that and that, and you can watch that grow. And that's actually, it becomes something very rewardable for somebody that's watching it, that's playing a part of it. Surely that's a part of the tapestry here, is for people to watch that happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you couldn't have described it any better. I think it's it's a combination of fans becoming a part of it, and then but also helping the artists take that next step in their career. But it's also, you're asking not sort of for money for yourself, but also for the project. You know, you're doing this really cool project, and a backer then donates to it, and then actually made this project happen. And, you know, and that's something. If it's like a pressing a vinyl, you know, they have the vinyl as a reward, and that's something that a fan made happen, and that's such a rewarding thing for any fan, I think. And crowdfunding is I mean, it's not the most innovative new business model in the music industry, but it's a tried and tested funding model which works if it's done well, and that's what we really believe in, and where we saw this sort of gap in the market, and hopefully we can really add some value with it to the UK music industry as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And it's also like a different type of funding you can use in a certain stage of your career or for a certain project. So sometimes it's really nice to see that artists, grassroots artists, really need an album to be able to go to a label or find a manager. So they don't have the money to create an album or record in the studio. So crowdfunding can be a tool to collect that money to be able to make something that they can use when reaching out to other stakeholders, which can help them go to the next phase in their career, which is really nice to see.
I think that's the key thing, isn't it, Ella? Exactly what you just said there. That next phase. I think if you were to talk to many artists and say, what's the goal? Maybe the answers will be, well, to make a living from this, or to make my music as accessible as possible. And it makes perfect sense. Those things are totally possible, but they've got to be done in stages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, right, to be able to get there, let's go backwards. We need to get there. We need to have an album. You have to cycle into it with some singles. You have to do this. You get the socials right. There's all these things. It's like, whoa, that's a lot. Right. Let's just compartmentalize it with a scale of like chronology to be able to start here and go that's the goal,
Mm-hmm.
And what you've built is tailored to exactly that, and I think it's wonderful. I really do. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, your background, both of you individually, your backgrounds have really helped you to be able to kind of spot the market, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I come from more of a music industry background, having worked with, in sort of the record label and management side of things. And then Ella used to work for a crowdfunding platform for also arts projects, but also music. And we sort of combined our expertises to create this new thing. And it's it's a really nice way to work together as well.
Yeah, it is. Wow, what a combination that is, the two of you, with both of your backgrounds individually and what you bring this together. It's wonderful. I mean, it really is, because the thing is a part of what you do here, like I asked you in that first question in this, right? It's like, it's what you bring on an advice level for people, because it might be that an artist says, oh, I'd love to do Crowdable, but like, I don't know where to start. Like, what do I need next? I don't even know. And actually sometimes that can be, okay, let's see where you're at. It's this thing here. Oh yeah, that would be good. Yeah, let's start it. Oh wow, it's worked. Oh wow, look what all these people have said about me. This is so lovely. Oh wow. And then it just kind of gives them an enthusiasm, puts that fire inside them, and says, yeah, I can do this. And because I've done that, I'm now there, And I can't think of anything that's music specific where that's really happened before. I know you both know the crowdfunding model from your background, but to have it specifically positioned in the way that you've got it, is just so now. It really is. It's great.
Yeah, I think there are many ways to collaborate with different stakeholders in the industry, and we already set up some really nice partnerships. Yeah, so it's really nice to see that we're part of or that we are a body in the industry that could collaborate with a lot of different stakeholders. So
I think so. I like that word body as well. It's a good word, that, isn't it? No, I said, mate, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially like when it comes to like the use of like predictive AI, for example, and hedge funds, and like the ability to be able to go, right, there's like 16 projects on the go at the minute. 3 of those are predicted to grow really quick because of the niche that they're in. And all of a sudden, that then becomes like, a hedge fund language, a VC language where people can go, right, let's back that. There's just so many options when you partner this up with greater technology. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. But the thing with our platform though is that it's really sort of labor intense because we're doing all this advice that we're giving, this personal advice. So it's really to sort of combine that with something that's a bit more tech savvy or like a bit more like AI stuff it might be a bit of a challenge, but there's a lot of opportunities, of course.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to throw AI into the mix, didn't I?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
No worries.
You don't need AI when you got you two, because you got the double eye of intelligence for you two. So, and, you are what makes it what it is, right? Because people come to you and they go, wow, okay, those guys know what they're doing,
That's also what drives us and what motivates us to have conversations with artists and to meet them and to hear about their plans. So for us, every campaign is different, and that's what we like about the work. And I think the personal aspect is really important for a crowdfunding campaign, but it's also really important for us. That's also a reason why we started this, to be able to work with artists, musicians, organizations.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. One of the many things that I've taken today from talking to you both is the understanding of the importance, I should say, really, for artists to think about things on a project by project basis rather than the sort of longer term goal of like, I want to be successful making music. It's more like just think about it in segments. And that kind of compartmentalization is key to this. I think it's a useful way for artists to work anyway. If a booking agent wants to know what an artist is up to, they'll go, send us the next 12 months what you're doing. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this clicks into that, and then it's perfect. Thank you both so very, very much for coming and talking to me today. I appreciate. I reached out to you and I was like, these guys are great. Let's get them on. And I appreciate you, like, you're not knowing me and just going, yeah, okay, who's this guy? Let's go and talk to him. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you too. Of course.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you for inviting us.
Oh no, the pleasure is mine. Okay, there you go. I hope you found that useful. Two absolutely fantastic people, right? In Remy and in Ella. They really care about what they do. And, and in a world full of, very heavy AI companies, they're kind of the opposite, right? They are people that you can connect with and you can talk to about what you're trying to do and how you can build a project around it and how you can fund it and what the best approaches are to do that. I think this absolutely clicks perfectly into several aspects of the artist-centered ecosystem that now is the landscape that we know in the modern music industry. I think they are a very, very, very important kind of crucial step in combining all of those things. I think that what they've created is not only brilliant for artists, but also brilliant for music fans that can then connect to that music. They really care about what they do, and I think they're great people, and I think that what they've built is hugely important. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Feel free to reach out and to ask any questions, and reach out to them, right? As I say, they're very good, they're very knowledgeable, and they're really nice. Right. And that goes a long way, doesn't it? Okay. Anyway, wherever you are, have a great day and may the force be with you.